Hi everybody, Mr. Gilbert here with the top 10 tips for analyzing North American weather. This is reading weather maps and forecasting weather. And yes, I would put these in your notebook. I'm going to go over them all one at a time for you, starting with hint 1. The jet stream and prevailing southwesterly winds, that's our wind belt, create and dominate the west to east weather pattern, flow, and movement. Most time, material is going from the west to the east, In all of these maps, you'll see the same map in every slide. Each one of these, map 1, map 2, map 3, and map 4, are basically 12 hours apart on some crazy daily weather. So remember, most of the time, weather is going to move from the west to the east. Winds blow from high to low pressure. They seem to move in a straight line, but due to the Coriolis effect, winds turn, so they don't end up going in a straight line. Instead, they end up spinning. High pressure gets that clockwise out spin, and low pressure gets that inward counterclockwise spin. So the air to this low will be rushing in and around, and the air to this high might be moving out towards this low and out towards this low. Got to know which way things are moving. Okay. Isobars, they're the little white lines on these maps, are lines of equal pressure, as in air pressure. Wind travels between them like lanes on a racetrack. If you go back to before, air moves from high to low, but it turns and spins, so the air is actually going to be cruising around like lines on a racetrack. Okay? Where the isobars are closer together, they're much closer here than here. The winds are faster where they're closer together, slower where they're spread out. Colder air masses from the north fight warmer air masses from the south. You got to remember a little bit about your types of air masses, birthplaces. So colder air masses, the air behind this low front is probably going to be some sort of polar air mass that's going to be colder, versus behind this warm front here is going to be a warmer, maybe a warm air mass from the ocean that's humid. Okay, so warmer from the south, colder from the north, behind the front. Fronts are boundaries between air masses with different temperature and humidity. So you know the air back here behind this cold front is going to be colder with different humidity than the air over here, which is going to be warmer with different humidity. Even the air mass here is going to be warmer than the air here, which is going to be warmer than the air here, which is going to be colder than the air here. Okay, kind of putting everything together. You got to know your fronts. Number 7, front symbols point in the direction they're moving. This low front is moving this direction. This little warm front, the warm air here, is getting squeezed and moving that way. Okay. Stationary front, the cold air was hitting the warm air. And of course, on these maps, purple is occluded. Next, high pressure forms at the center of an air mass. Ta-da! And low pressure pulls air masses together. So you get high pressure, you get low pressure. It's going to be sucking or squeezing in the air as it's coming together. And that's why low pressure tends to have the fronts associated with them, where there's weather changes. Number 10, air mass temperature, humidity, and birthplaces. It's going to tell you this area is going to be dominated by cold temperatures, probably lower humidity because it looks like it's continental, because that's its birthplace. Versus down here, it's going to be warmer, probably more humid coming off the Pacific Ocean, okay, and warmer. And number 10, precipitation and storms form more often near fronts. See how it's this stuff, this precipitation is near a front, this is near a front. You don't have that much hanging out by high pressure. This precipitation is near the front, all this stuff near the front, etc. This is fog in yellow, so don't worry about it. Okay? And to review, these are all right here. You're going to want to master them so that it helps forecast weather. I hope you have a great day, and cheers to